All right, welcome everybody to 3WC Round of 16, where we have the hype close seed match of the weekend. Seed 8 Ukraine up against Seed 9 Finland. Two extremely close teams in skill and even some overlap in what they are good at. I am Vordi, and joining me is none other than Shiba. How are you going, Shiba? How are you feeling about this match?
Yo, I'm so excited for this. I love Ukraine and Finland, both of teams, not only for their history, but how explosive they are as teams, especially in early stage. These guys are so heavily contested, not only in like seeding, but in both skill sets. Like we talked about this earlier in the pregame. There are loads and loads of maps that we just can't say we know who's going to pick what. And I think what's even more exciting is what they're going to ban, because it goes to show how comfortable they are on the pool specifically. We've got info on their qualifiers results, but obviously pools change. We got more maps, we've got more skill sets to take into account. So I can't wait to see what these teams will pull off. Hopefully we get a good match, because I don't want to see a stomp with these two teams. I want to see TB. I want to see something epic.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping for. Especially if it's Seed 8 versus Seed 9, you always pray for the TB. It's the most likely to happen in a match like this. And what's interesting about the qualies is they had a very similar team structure, both missing a player in qualies. Finland missing Mike Tyson, Ukraine missing Gusnicki. So depending on, if those players are here and ready, that could change up some of the performances. And also you do have, instead of very focused carries, you have 4 players on each team who played a good amount of the maps with some specialists as well. So you're going to have quite a good range of team comps. But it is going to be interesting to see what the bans are, because we did find a hard time figuring out what to ban, just because both of these teams are so close on so many skill sets. I'm Aesthetic going to ban out No Mod Force. That's Finland's ban. Banning out the Reading No Mod, which is honestly fair considering Ukraine's performance on the No Mod for last weekend on the qualies. Relatively similar skill set.
Yeah, I think what's important about this is the potential that both these teams have. If you look at their previous qualifier results, No Mod 4 was also a No Mod reading map. Kind of gimmicky, kind of intensive on that consistency reading. And for Ukraine, you had an FC from Dench, and you had 2 1 misses from 2 other players of Ukraine. Whereas on Finland, you got 1, but then you have 2 other scores that are not as comfortable, but still have some decent potential, which is why we were so unsure. But No Mod 4, I think, was one of those maps that were a consideration. We also thought about No Mod 3 and Glacier 4 as potential ban from one of these teams. But it does seem to be bounced back by a free mod 2 ban from Ukraine. Something that I don't think you and I either expected, Vordi.
Nah.
We thought this mechanics map was going to be one of the ones that was going to be sticking around, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Ukraine may be a little bit afraid of Finland's hard rock ability. Considering Zepe and Nev exist, you got Alad as well on the hidden. You could see a good ability for Finland to just completely excel on this, especially with Aesthetic on No Mod, just being able to play whatever he wants. He's so consistent and stuff like this. So, although it's understandable, I think this would have been kept around.
Yeah, just because of Ukraine's performance on the Double Time 2. Free Mod 2 being a very stamina-heavy map. It's 140 BPM on the map description, but it plays like 210 as it's mapped to 1/6. So the stamina-heavy roster on Ukraine, I expect it to be a strength, something they wanted to pick into, but Finland also have such a good stamina team. Notably, the big difference in qualies, with Ukraine getting second off the back of a double FC and a really good supporting score, Finland also having a double FC but not as good of a third player. So potentially could have been an angle to go for Ukraine if they saw a third player weakness on Finland for tapping, but they decide to ban it out. A little bit afraid of it, respecting Finland's tapping strength, and that's going to be Ukraine first picking Hard Rock 1. So that is one of the biggest seeding differences in qualies. Finland getting 24th overall in the Hard Rock 1, their lowest score. So Ukraine just maybe seeing a weakness in the Hard Rock 1 and going for it.
Yeah, Ukraine definitely have a lot more explosive potential on this. As once again in qualifiers, there were a lot of indications seeing that some of these players just had a tragic 1 miss midway through the map and couldn't get the full combo despite actually having a pretty solid score. But there was one player that stood out for Ukraine. It was Dench, who was the only one to a full combo there amongst the 6 players who played. So maybe Ukraine are going to be relying on that. Maybe just generally feeling a lot more comfortable. Finland as well being on the deficit of the Hard Rock 2, if I remember correctly. Yes, in the qualifiers as well. So Hard Rock generally just being a bit more of a comfort point according to qualifiers in Ukraine, but I wouldn't count Finland out at all. In fact, they've got some great Hard Rock players. I mean, Zepe is one immediately when you think of strong Hard Rock ability. Desku as well, great on it. Amocetic is just an all-round. He kind of plays everything despite being such a strong mechanics player. So I definitely would not count Finland out. On top of that, this is just straight up comfortable hard rock consistency. So any tiny mistake, especially towards the halfway mark of the map, will shatter your score entirely. So that has to be put into account. Consistency, comfort, hard rock comfort. It's not necessarily going to be super explosive firepower that's going to matter in this one. It's more going to be that reliable consistency and nerve control towards the later stages of the map that's going to matter the most.
It's definitely going to be one of the most comfortable maps in the pool. And as you said, you know, Finland, despite this being their lowest score in qualies, they all had solid scores, just no FCs on a skill set that generally tends to be pretty comfortable. If that was just an unfortunate, unlucky run, and they turn out to be a lot more comfortable at the skill set than it seemed in quals, this could be, you know, a tough contested pick. And this Hard Rock one as well, a touch easier than the one in qualies, which might make it a little bit easier to stay consistent on. But at the same time, Ukraine so strong in the skill set, Dench being able to FC the last week's Hard Rock one, which was harder than this. If we see a similar performance, that could help Ukraine a lot on their first pick.
Out here for Finland, Amocetic, Desku, and Alid coming in. No Zepe, which surprises me a little bit. Maybe not around, or maybe just not in just yet. Don't know, but either way, still a decent roster here for Finland. Outside of Ukraine, Red GPO, Dench, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is Red Tapak, but I think that's another way of pronouncing it, if I remember correctly. I have to find that out at some point later on, hopefully by production. But yeah, so far so good. Looking good on the side of both teams. You've got no major drops just yet. SSs from multiple players here, understandably, considering this is such a comfortable map. So accuracy isn't really that big of a deal. It's more going to be those big diff spikes towards the key eyes and the links towards the key eyes, which is going to be really important. First blood goes to Tapak, though. Not a good start for Ukraine. Lead goes to Finland, but we still got the key eye to go. No major drops just here, and it's time for the key eye.
And apparently it is pronounced Taras?
Taras, I think. Taras?
Taras.
We'll do Taras.
Oh, that is a full reset on the side of Ukraine on their first pick. You hate to see it. It's going to be one break traded by Allard on Finland, but that's still 2 FCs remaining. 1/3 into the map, there's a break. The nerves are going to set in. Amocetic and Desku both on super high accuracy, looking very, very comfortable. There's unfortunate misses on Ukraine. It's going to be a tough mountain to climb from here. You're going to need to hold, and you're going to need some breaks on these 2 FCs from Finland.
Tough spot here for Ukraine. That full reset's going to give so much time, especially towards the end of the key eye, where it matters the most here. Amocetic and Desku hitting that entire second and have free combos to just excel. As long as they don't chain or fall apart towards the easy sections of this map, Alad's recovery is going to even be able to suppress one of the combos from Ukraine. You've got Taras with the highest combo for Ukraine on here, but Finland are just soaring ahead further and further now. We're reaching that halfway mark, which could be dangerous territory here. We're going to approach the next key eye, and if Amocetic and Desku both drop on these sections, this could give Ukraine the leeway that they need to get through here. So the threats are still very valuable here. It matters really more for Finland on whether they can hold on for the longer parts here. But this is where the drops start to amplify. We're not seeing any drops from anybody right now. Everybody's still staying so still. They're slaying this right now. Can they hit the ending? No, Amocetic drops. He's going to fall. And that's a dangerous point now. Taras, Raf, GPU, and Dench all building up to great recoveries now. Combo advantage in favor of Ukraine. 300k and going. Alad drops. Recovery's gone. It's all up to Desku to try and do something with this. But there's more Ukraine build. There's 3 combos against 1. This is going to start becoming really oppressive towards the late stage. If anybody drops on the side of Ukraine, there's hope. But Desku's the only man standing for Finland to try and hold something. The recoveries here from Finland are going to be useful towards the late end of this map, but the break is shown.
Oh, another break.
At the nerves here. This has to be really intimidating for Desku. You've got 3 combos trailing, coming for your skin, buddy. He wants you right now. And Amocetic with that drop once again is going to be really, really tough to deal with. You've got Raf, GPO, Dench, and Taras all holding on brilliantly. Is there going to be enough time towards the final part? I think there will be, but Desku's really holding the fort. Trying to hold onto the FC as much as he can. Big jump session to come through. Desku's still hitting it. Hold on a second. There's 150,000 left for Desku to gain on this. I don't know if there's going to be enough time to slowly shrink it down to under 100k. Can Ukraine hold on? Amocetic drops! That's so dangerous here! It's already getting really close, but I think Desku might have just held 50K. The fort! These combos from Ukraine are crazy! But Desku, the man on his own, is there enough time? 10k and shrinking! Desku's down, and that's an immediate flip. Ukraine take it just barely towards the end. From a 10k gap in favor of Finland to 70,000. That drop from Desku might have been the single thing that decided the fate of Finland on that one.
An unbelievable performance from Desku, really showing his aim prowess that he had on the No Mod 1 and qualies. But, I mean, just the consistency from Ukraine to all miss at a similar time, but all hold through their misses and keep those recoveries in check. Did enough to solidify their first pick, but man, that could have been insane. I think the miss on the burst lowered Desku's score so much. I wonder if he FC'd, if it would have been enough. I think it would have been extremely close, even if he had held onto that combo, but good effort from Desku, but still that consistency on the entire team on Ukraine on Hard Rock ended up being the difference maker. And I don't know. I think with that performance, I don't think you're shied away from picking the other Hard Rocks just because all three members did really solid versus the miracle performance on Desku needing to happen on Finland. But it is going to be Finland responding with a DT3 pick. So this is a very cool map. The high BPM alt reading DT aim map. Taylor Swift as well. Rare to see a T-Swizzle map in WC pools, but glad to see it.
Yeah, Paper Rings being that high AR, high BPM aim, kind of bordering on that ulti side, matched by Fooders. 312 BPM, as you can see down there. These tapping sections, not the speed necessarily, but the aim and the control to kind of keep that alive along with the high AR reading. There's going to be a question mark here, but both of these teams have shown some really high affinity on these double time maps, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Finland have prepared here. I feel like they could easily take this if they're comfortable enough, that they got the players for it. Desku's proven to be really good on the aim, but Hard Rock aim is a little bit different to this, so whether or not Desku's going to be warmed up or ready for it, for the difference, so the massive shift is up for debate here. You've got players like Zeppe around as well that could lead to potential play. Amacetic is the only one sticking around here, which makes sense. I think he's going to be playing nearly every single map here for Finland. But for Ukraine,
Finland, you'd expect to see Amacetic and Desku on probably the majority of maps. But yeah, I do think both of these teams will have players who are pretty comfortable with this AR 10.2. Don't think it's going to dissuade them too much. Also, a good amount of people had the AR practice on AR 10 on the Hard Rock 1, so they'll be warm for it. But yeah, a lot higher BPM, very easy to, like, the difference between like the 250 BPM DT1 versus the 312 BPM DT3 does make it a lot easier to miss on the aim, but a lot lower spacing. And unless you're an absolute machine, you're likely not single tapping this. So you gotta be comfortable with that ult.
Yeah, very, very few can single tap this consistently. I mean, like, yeah, you need some crazy levels of tapping stamina to do that. If we do see that, that'd be kind of awesome, though. Not gonna lie.
I want somebody to prove me wrong. I'm gonna be looking at the keystrokes on this pick, see if anybody's a mad lad.
For the full rosters here, it does seem to be done. Good luck, how funds are being exchanged here. Finland rocking Amacetic, Alad, and Desku. Desku doing really, really well last map, so hopefully we'll see that performance continue on into the next map. For Ukraine, Roman, Dench, and Ref GPO. I couldn't have come up with a better roster than this, honestly. I think Ukraine have a pretty strong team for this. Ref GPO coming around as well, very, very nice.
This is a scary team on the side of Ukraine. I feel like this 3-man picks this skill set in other situations. I feel like they would have picked this map in prior 3WC. So this is a very contested pick, but I think most of these maps are going to be, considering how close the Hard Rock 1 was.
Yep. Early starts going into this map here. You're already seeing quite a few breaks, maybe adjusting to that comfort a little bit. Amacetic and Alad dropping, traded by Roman and Desku. But that's a 3-way reset already for Finland in the very start of this map. It's just Rep GPO and Dench holding on into this next TI here. Quite a short one, but you still have to stay consistent in this. You're going to see a consistent range of small jumps that are very, very fast and very high BPM. But Ukraine seems to be holding their fort decently well so far. Rep GPO and Dench still holding on with good accuracy on top of that here. The amount of speed that this is, how quick it is, like, you'd expect accuracy to be of a struggle, but it does seem like most of the lobby is looking actually quite solid for the most part. You still got the full reset earlier on, but Amacetic, Alad, and Desku all looking good in their recoveries. So Ukraine may have a lead, but it's quite stable. It's not really going to be fluctuating unless somebody else drops. And as we go into this next TI,
there it is from Dench,
and that's a big one.
And that break from Ukraine is going to cause the score lead to flip towards Finland, which is what they want on their first pick. There's the break as well, the nerves. All 3 players on Finland need to keep their combo, keep the score lead swinging. Also a very tough map, as you mentioned, the accuracy side of this. Very tough skill set to just jump into a match with, you know, not playing a lot of the skill set in a session, just having to get into it. It can be very tough to get that accuracy up. Everybody holding through the slow section. It's going to all come down to the ending. The score lead is building up for Finland, but Alliard does find a break right before the leaderboards are shown again. It's now a 2v2 with a slight lead to Finland, currently on the score lead, but I think that might start swinging back to Ukraine with that FC from RAFG.
Island Dench
breaks right after!
But there's no GPS!
But Anesthetic right?
It's right Anesthetic though. Okay, it's Roman against Descu for the combos here. Finland do still have the combo, but it's slowly showing in favor of Ukraine. That recovery from Dench is slowly going to start closing in. Are we going to see another last-minute flip here? Roman and Dench have to hold on. Descu has to hold on once again, and once again become a hometown hero. Don't miss on the end, but I don't think it's going to be even enough. It's shrinking just barely. Is there enough time? Spin to win! Spin to win! Spin quick, Lethal! It's slowly shrinking, and Ukraine are more aware. They might just take it, but it won't be the case. 2,800 score in favor of Finland. Dude, people were spinning very slow there. I don't think they were prepared for it. They had to go quick on that one, but thankfully it didn't lead to their loss. Just barely. Finland, by the skin of their teeth, take the DT3, and it's 1-1.
And I think Ukraine spinning a little bit faster, causing that lead to go from 10 to 2k, but still not enough to have that flip over. I mean, how close this match has already been, with 2 maps being decided in the last like 5 seconds of play. It is quite a good start to an exciting match. And I think stuff like this is going to keep happening because of how close these 2 teams are. I mean, Ukraine first picked that Hard Rock 1. It went well for them, and they had a more consistent roster, but do you want to keep in that Hard Rock lane? There is, 6.5s to go into. You have Hard Rock 2. You also have Free Mod 3 that has a combination of 6.5 and reading. They feel they have a good comp for that. But I mean, it's so hard to pick in this matchup.
Yeah, it's these maps have not made it easier for us to think about what they're going into next, right? It's not helping us. Both of these maps do have some decent aim aspects into it, so maybe Ukraine might want to keep on leaning into it, but I don't know, man. It's you just have no idea. You just don't know which order. Like, you know which maps they will be playing. You know which ones they're both good at. You just don't know when they will, what the reason it will be, and which ones they'll avoid. I think the most ambiguous ones are probably going to be Glacier Fall and Free Mod 1, maybe? Do Ukraine really want to go into the Free Mod 1? I don't think so, especially considering Finland just barely clutched it on paper rings. So,
yeah.
Like, I got no idea what they'll be picking here. Like, really, I don't. Like, as we said, the most ambiguous ones most likely being, like, No Mod 3, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 2. Everything else is kind of obvious that they're going to fight it on.
Yeah, I mean, Free Mod 1, I don't know if that's a pick considering Finland did pretty well on the alt map in the qualies, getting 4th overall in the No Mod 2, which is probably the closest thing to the Free Mod 1 in this pool, but it is going to be Ukraine picking the Hidden 1. So this is the tech Hidden. And, Ukraine had an interesting hidden result, doing really, really well in the Hidden 2, which was more similar to this Hidden 1 in this pool. Not as good on the AR8 Hidden, but don't necessarily have to be AR9.5. This is a lot more testing your ability to play Hidden on tech, on 1/4 cuts. Bit of some ulti patterns in here as well, but it's a very easy map to just have random misses on.
Yeah, this one, Lapix Outer Space, it's a flow aim map with lots of tech aspects in it. Hidden plus flow aim is always really dangerous. I mean, if you're comfortable on the hidden, great, but one slight misread, even if it's not that big, is going to be really dangerous, especially with the chain miss potentials on the hidden. As soon as you lose track of that stream, like, that's it, you're done. You can't recover, unlike it being on Hard Rock and No Mod, where you got the approach circle still around there for you. 2.5 minutes long as well. AR 9.5, so not really too dangerous in terms of reading. It's more the flow that will make this hard, and the hidden comfort that will make this difficult, I guess you could say. Like, it's less a matter of the hidden making the reading difficult, more of the comfort, more of the consistency. That's going to matter more on this map.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Yeah.
The AR is going to be pretty comfortable on this hidden, but it is just the type of patterns this tends to have, especially towards the back half of this map. Lots of flow aim, as you mentioned, lots of 1/4 cuts as well. A few tricky sections. I think this is going to be a map that most people are going to be relatively comfortable to get at least like 400, 300k on, but getting an FC will take very, very strong consistency, comfort on the skill set. We'll see who has that in this moment. We're going to see, I think, the same roster on the side of Ukraine. Roman, Raf, GPO, Dench. And on the side of Finland, you're going to see Allard, Shipe, and Desku. I think that is it Shipe or ZPA? I've heard both. I think X's are sometimes pronounced as SH, but
I have
sure.
always, I believe that's used in Mandarin and just general Asian languages where they pronounce the X as the SH. I think it's just Zepe, like Z.
Yeah, that is going to be
so.
Zepe's first map of the match. See if they're, I think it's their second map of the tournament as well. They only played the DT2-1 qualies and FC'd it. So he's on a 1-for-1 right now on full combos in 3WC. Let's see if he can continue the streak.
Yeah, Zepe's always been a really exciting player for Finland. Always very threatening. So I'm looking forward to this. Allard and Desku have also made great performances on the hiddens here for Finland. So yeah, this is a daunting quest here for Ukraine. You do still have some great players though. I mean, all three of these guys performed decently well on the hiddens here. So another map where like, you're thinking like, uh-oh, what's it gonna be? I do wonder. A little bit of a slowdown section here. Very easy for everybody to just build some early stage combo, but here's where the difficulties can start slowly increasing just by a little bit. Still reasonably comfortable here, but here's a little bit of a jump section there. First cut stream to come through, and he drops? No, a small lag drop from Dench, but that's all it's going to be. First Kia to come through, first blood goes to Roman on the side of Ukraine. Is that going to be traded by anybody from Finland very, very soon? These Kios are decently consistent here. It's not going to slow down for a decent while, and there goes Zepe. Finally a drop from Ukraine, finally a drop from Finland, sorry, giving Ukraine the advantage that they need. Second drop there from Zepe, amplifying that advantage in favor of Ukraine now. Raf, GPO, and Dench staying immensely stable here. Allard and Desku are trying their best to contest it. Desku with incredible accuracy as well, leading the lobby here. But there's a double miss from the two lower combos. But there's Raf GPO. Finally, a big full combo gone from one of these teams here. Ukraine are falling a little bit now. It's up to Dench to try and hold the fort. Desku and Allard have to keep it alive, but Allard drops as well. It's a 1 versus 1 of the full combos here. I think Ukraine have a small combo advantage into the timing of Raf GPO's drop. That's going to give him a little bit of a higher recovery combo over Allard. So it's slowly going to start flipping in favor of Ukraine. First cuts, another cutscene to come through actually, but it's not going to lead to the drop of the full combos here. This is tense.
Yeah, it's just those two remaining FCs doing most of the work for their respective teams. Ukraine with a little bit of a better build-up on the supporting combos, and that is going to have them start slowly swinging the score lead, but it's so minimal. Any miss will cause that to happen, and this last quarter is the hardest section of the map, I would say, so you expect to see some breaks on these cuts.
Oh, the next drop could decide this, genuinely. Whether it be a full combo or recovery, this could be really huge. Allard, Zepe, Roman, and Raf GP are all building up to 300 to 500 combo. So this could get really, really dangerous. The flip is slowly in favor of Ukraine, but if anybody drops, it's going to decide the fate. Surely now. These sliders can get quite long and quite scary. First stream comes through. The full combo's gone from Finland, but Raf GPO's the one to trade it, but that's not what matters here. It's Dench to keep it alive here for Finland. Oh, not for Finland, but Ukraine. I keep getting this team mixed up, Vordi. I think for Ukraine, it's Dench. It is Pommer to drop, but traded here by Allard. Finland have dropped it, unfortunately. Not the thing that they were hoping for here. Ukraine just barely building ahead of this, and Dench with the full combo. Beautiful consistency in the sky. A clean 100,000 score victory for Ukraine, but it was a lot closer than that.
Oh man, I think as I mentioned, lots of really, really solid scores, but it's so easy to find breaks, especially on the ending. Those slider streams into those cuts. Desku falling victim, and Dench holding on, securing the second pick from his team. So far, each team has just been winning their picks, but it's been so close on all of these.
Yeah.
Expect to see a breakpoint soon at this rate. It's going to be Finland to pick. And I mean, let's see what they have. I think as we've been saying, it's not going to be easy to pick in this matchup. They started with the DT3. It went well for them. They won, but not by much. Let's see if they have a different strat they want to go into. Different thing to pick into. You know, there was a pretty solid advantage for them in the Hidden 2 and qualies, but they go for the free mod 3, which, has elements of the Hidden 2, being an AR8 CS5 map. Going to need to have a strong hard rock and a strong hidden player. Most likely you need to have 2 unique mods on this team. So it's presumably going to be hidden in hard rock unless somebody wants to go crazy on the easy.
Yeah, if you want my assumption here for Finland, I'm expecting to most likely see Zepe or Desku on the Hard Rock. Probably Desku, considering how well he's been doing. Alad on the Hidden. And probably Amasatic on the No Mod. If not, maybe we'll see... Actually, I don't know. Who else would be on here? I mean, you've got Alad Hidden, Desku Hard Rock, and Zepe? Zepe No Mod?
Maybe. I think the...
One thing's for sure on Ukraine is that Roman's probably going to be on the Hidden.
Desku actually played really well in the AR8 Hidden in qualies, getting just under 1 million scores, so you could have Desku on the Hidden, maybe Allard on the Hard Rock, and Nev on the No Mod.
Maybe, yeah. This is the first appearance we've actually seen from Nev. It's very nice.
Yeah, Nev actually playing a good amount in the qualies. First map in the match. We're going to see Sherry Tori most likely on the Hidden, being an extremely strong low AR Hidden player for the side of Ukraine. Roman and Raf GPO. Surprised not to see Dench maybe on the Hard Rock. I think Dench is just such a good Hard Rock player. Expect to see him in the 6.5.
I feel like Shari Tori and Raf GPO are kind of malleable with the Hiddens, honestly. They were both really, really good in the qualifiers, especially, and just in general on top of that.
It is going to be Dench in for the Hard Rock, and then...
Yeah, made the right call for Dench. I'm really curious about the mods here. I kind of got no idea. I mean, the only predictable ones are Desku and Dench on the Hard Rock.
Oh, yeah, I would say maybe Sherry Tori Hidden, Raf G, No Mod. I think Desku could also go Hidden. Allard, Hard Rock, and Nev No Mod. That's my guess. We'll see. We'll see in a moment.
No idea. What's it going to be?
Desku on the Hard Rock, Nev on the Hidden.
Oh, Hidden Hard Rock from Rap GPO. And Dench on the No Mod. Okay.
Interesting.
So this is not what we expected here. Desku Hard Rock is the only thing I guessed.
Dench is actually really strong on low AR No Mod. So I think he'll be very, very comfortable on that. Raf G opting into the Hidden Hard Rock. Obviously, Hidden not adding too much more difficulty once you have the Hard Rock. Just a comfort choice at this point. But Raf G going to find an early miss. I think the Hard Rocks are probably going to be the hardest combos to keep hold. But Sherry Tori also breaking on the Hidden. Not a great start for Ukraine, but it is also not their pick.
Yeah, this is a tough Hard Rock map. I think the Hard Rock's 100% being the most difficult one. Ref GPO pulling a really bold call here, going for the Hidden Hard Rock. I believe we've seen him kind of notoriously run Hidden Hard Rocks on certain free mods, so I think it's kind of normal for Ref GPO to maybe do stuff like this, but this one is quite dangerous here. You got to be really ready for this if you want to be consistent enough to make that mod advantage be that important, right? You have to really benefit from this comfort, as much comfort as you can, in order to get as many notes here as you can, in order to make the most of the mod difference here. But
yeah,
I think everyone else is pretty solid so far. We're going into the first KI now.
And a lot of these slider takes are going to be very easy to miss if you're not ready for them. I assume all of these players are going to be, but especially in the 6.5, you have to be pretty on point on your tracking on the slider. But so far, the recoveries in Ukraine are good, but Nev finding the break on the Hidden near the middle of the map as well. That miss is going to be much more devastating than the misses we've seen on the side of Ukraine. Now that build-up is going to be huge. That swirly is going to start flickering. Rafty recovering on the Hard Rock, but still 2 FCs on Finland. Sherry Tori and Allard drops, but that's 1-for-1. It's still Ukraine advantage.
2 versus 1 now. Desku on the Hard Rock. Gotta try and hold this through here. Rap GPO being really impressive here on this Hidden Hard Rock. And Desku's gone. That's 100% advantage now in favor of Ukraine. It's going to keep on going in their favor now. And this section decently slow up until the next KI. There's still quite a bit of time before they actually have to do anything. And there's the break. Rap GPO and Dench very aware of their positions right now. Finland in a really, really tough spot. Alan with the sad face. No, this is so sad. I mean, what can you do here? You've got Nev on the 250 and climbing, but that's only going to suppress Shari Tori. Rep GPO may drop here. And Dench as well. Wait, I don't think there's going to be enough time, though. I feel like the advantage that they gathered is already a bit too insurmountable here. Nev's the only combo that's kind of substantial, but that's only 300. There's not really much you can do here. And with that drop from Nev, that has to be decided now. 200,000 score, especially this late into the map, is way too far of a deficit to really overtake now. Unless you had a full combo, at least, maybe from like Desku and Allard, but that's it. There's no way you can really come back from this, unfortunately, here for Finland. Ukraine are going to be able to get their first breakpoint of the match here. And beautiful performance here from Rap GPO in particular. I'd definitely name him as the MVP on this one. Hidden Hard Rock with the hardest sets in the game. Dench also got a really great score, but I think Hidden Hard Rock getting nearly 700k is really respectable here. So,
Actually,
great stuff from Ukraine.
both Hard Rock players getting 677k. Locked up in sync. I think Rap GPO just getting 101 more score on the Hard Rock.
101 score difference.
Very, very aesthetic score difference. But yeah, Ukraine getting the first breakpoint of the match is going to be a pretty devastating pick for Finland. And all of these picks have been so close. This was the biggest score gap, but still, I mean, a single extra bit of combo on the side of Finland could have made the difference, especially with how low density the ending was on the notes. Made it hard to really accumulate much score. It is going to be Ukraine to pick, and if this outcome goes well, they can be up 4-1 in this first to 6 matchup. They're going to be feeling pretty good.
Well, there's the first breakaway. Now Ukraine got even better chance here to just make that 4-1. It's going to turn from a decently close advantage into a huge lead.
You know,
What matters is whether or not Ukraine lean into maybe the Hard Rock 2? I don't really know. No mod 1 maybe? If they want to carry on the momentum, they're going to go free mod 1.
Okay, so staying in the free mod lane, very different type of free mod map, a lot more comfortable. You have an alt style map, 264 BPM. Relatively comfortable. Going to be a lot harder with mods though. The raw aim required with Hard Rock's going to be a big step up. The hidden can make a lot of the patterns a lot more awkward to aim. I think the no mod player is going to feel generally pretty good on a map like this. But we'll see. I think we've seen a lot of teams pick this map, and quite often you have like one FC on the team and a couple one misses. That is just the type of map this is. Especially there's one section towards near the end that's very easy to break on. Let's see how many people get through it, but curious to see what the mods are going to be for these teams.
I think if they're going to be leaning into another free mod, we might see Rap GPO once again rock that hidden Hard Rock. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Outside of that, though, I don't really have much of an idea. I don't really know whether we're going to see the same players come in or not. These maps are quite different. You've gone from anti-mod into decently comfortable alt, with the free mods kind of being the mods being the more important aspect here.
Yeah, I also do think this is the ultimate banger of this pull. This song goes a bit silly.
This song does go, yeah. I love Sakai PH.
I'm surprised to see Ukraine go for this just because Finland did so well on the alt map in qualies. And obviously it was a very different type of alt map. This is a lot more comfortable, just raw aim. The alt map in qualies was a bit more rhythmic, but it's still, you know, you have that alt comfort on the side of Finland. Anesthetic doing very well. Maybe expect to see Allard and Desku as well. It's going to be the same roster as the qualies. Ukraine also, you know, not too far behind, but I do think if they're feeling a little bit more inclined to this more conventional, comfy style of alt aim, they're going to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I have to agree here. Dench and Zepe are going to be the last two players seeming to be filling in here for Ukraine and Finland. Static coming in. I'd probably say he's likely to be on the no mod. Oh wait, no, hold on. Oh wait, maybe we're going to see an overmod here. Potentially? Don't you think?
You reckon an overmod on this map? I don't know, I feel like no mods, you want to have a strong player no mod for that consistency.
I don't know, I'm looking at the players here from Finland, I'm thinking an overmod. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, it's going to be Desku on the hidden. I was thinking Desku, Zepe, Hard Rock, and now Static on no mod.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like unless you're crippled under AR10, there's just no way Hard Rock's easier on this map than no mod. Unless you're so confident on the FC, you just want that extra score. But yeah,
maybe I'm being
really comfortable.
I might be being a little bit based. But you know, it's fine.
Double Hard Rock.
We got the mods coming in now. Ukraine still rocking Rep GP on the hidden Hard Rock. They're keeping that momentum going on from the last free mod that we saw. Roman on the hidden and Dench on the consistent no mod. Amastatic joining him in that. Up against Desku on the hidden and Zepe on the Hard Rock. So mod advantage overall. If these scores are really even, Ukraine are going to be able to take that lead from Rep GP on the hidden Hard Rock. But still got a little bit of time. Zepe with the only early drop in the lobby. So we're already a quarter of the way through.
It's gonna make a difference. 93 building up though from the intro, but RAFG finding a break third of the way through. It is going to be a big dent on Ukraine's score, and now the score lead should start flickering back as Zepe has recovered. And I believe that's the ending of this Ki. Should be another good bit of free combo. Not free, but relatively free combo. Build up.
Yeah, this recovery from Zepe is really, really valuable. It's practically still a full combo considering how early the miss was. So Finland are going to be able to capitalize off this massively. They all hit that long section, which is very, very nice. They're going to be able to build a little bit more free combo until the next guy. We're just slowly going to start ramping up now. GPO is starting to recover up. Dench and Roman still have their full combos, but this lead from Finland is going to slowly gain. But this next guy is going to be what matters here. Whether or not we're going to see a break might be able to decide the fate of this match here. The ramp up starting to get quicker and quicker. These patterns start to get more and more complex, but nobody seems to be missing so far. GPO is looking great, but Zepe does not care. The combo is still in his favor for the recoveries here.
I think it's all going to come down to this next section coming up.
Oh,
the build up with the slider jumps into the burst. Let's see it. Who breaks here?
Who's going to do it? Who's going to drop? Nobody drops! Everyone's looking so good on this. And as we go into the final section, it might end up being a singular miss that might flip immediately, but Finland are going to be able to push this lead as far as they can here. That singular miss from GPO is all that's going to be what decided Ukraine's fate. Thank goodness for Zepe's early miss, because I'm willing to bet that the nerve shattering here might have helped him immensely. And with that drop from Roman, it's only secured now. GPO falls under the pressure towards the end, and Finland will trade the break point.
Really, really solid score from Finland. I mean, that was dangerously approaching a three-way. Just that early break from Zepe. I mean, fantastic score. And I mean, Ukraine playing that pretty well. That was a solid lineup. 2 900Ks, a 720K. You can't really be mad at that scoreline. I think these scorelines could be at a lot of even the top seeding teams, but that is going to be the break point traded back. Yep. And now into Finland's next pick, things are evened out if they can win.
Chat, it doesn't count. It doesn't count, chat. It doesn't count. GPO doesn't count. All right.
It doesn't count. No, it doesn't.
Don't say it doesn't count.
I don't see a single number that elicits laughter from me on that entire scoreline.
It doesn't count. Anyway, yeah, that's a crazy score. I don't know if that was because the map was too easy or these guys were playing like crazy, because that was a really impressive performance from both these teams. Finland nearly pulling up a 3 million score, which is very impressive.
They're going to be the first to pick a tapping map. Obviously, Ukraine banning the free mod too, respecting Finland's tapping ability. Finland goes into it, Black Rose, 270 high BPM speed, a very short map as well. Also a little bit note dense on the AR 9.7, so some of the aim sections you can have very silly misses if you're not super comfortable on the density. But, Finland having 2 excellent performances on the tapping map and qualities with Zepe and Anesthetic. Not as great on the 3-man, but they can find somebody who's a bit more comfortable on the speed. Obviously a bit of a difference with 230 tapping in the qualities versus 270 here. But both of these teams have such great tapping rosters. I can definitely imagine the skill set being contested, and I think it's why it's been left this deep into the match.
What makes this map even more terrifying is the length. This is less than TV size. Yeah. This is immensely short. I mean, one singular pop-off could really change the fate of this, With incredible short length of this map, with how short it was, that's going to have to be balanced with some crazy difficulty consistency. You're not going to have any slow, easy sections. You're not going to have any mega comfortable parts where you can just build plenty of combo. This map will be consistently difficult. And that's where that star power from Finland or Ukraine is going to really matter. That's where you're going to have to really hope that somebody, just somebody, holds on to the long stage. And that's where they're going to be importantly hitting the hardest parts of the map towards the end. That's the thing that I'm looking forward the most to here, Vordi. Who's going to be the one to pop off? I'm looking at Anesthetic, I'm looking at Dench, I'm looking at Zepe. I mean, this is exciting.
Yeah, definitely Anesthetic and Zepe on Finland are gonna be the 2 big ones, but Desku as well, being so good on the aim. Let's see if it translates to speed, but you're looking for who pops off. I'm looking for who finds a silly miss on just one of the 5-star aim patterns, because I feel it in my bones. Somebody's gonna fall victim to it. That might make the difference. We'll see.
Here we go. Final roster solidified here. GPO, Roman, and Dench for Ukraine. Anesthetic, Desku, and Zepe for Finland. Here we go. This will be a blink and you'll miss it moment. Very, very short. So here we go. This is likely going to be the only slightly easy section there. And there's the first drop. Traded by GPO and Dench there. Zepe was the first to drop, but it's traded by 2 from Ukraine. Roman, the last full combo standing, already going into the first third of the map. Look at this, already going by. Anesthetic drops.
Anesthetic dropping.
It's up to Desu and Roman here. The recoveries from Finland are actually going to be quite valuable. It's Zeppe against Dench. GPO drops once again. Advantage in Finland, but it's going to be really volatile here. Final half of the map to come through here. Who are we going to see drop through this big ramp-up section? None of the full combos go down. It's still Roman and Desu to duke it out, but the recoveries from Finland are very valuable here. That second drop from GPO might just be the thing that seals the fate here for Ukraine on this map. It's slowly going to be gaining and gaining in favor of Finland as long as Desu can hold on towards the next stage. Roman is trailing him. He's watching him with great accuracy as well as that. If Desu drops towards any stage of this map here, that could be immediately flipped in his favor. But the longer this lasts, the more dire it is for Ukraine. And Finland will be able to take it. That drop from Zeppe will not be enough, not enough time. And Finland, in just a matter of minutes, will get an equalizer.
Man, it's actually wild how many breaks there were in the early section of the map, but everybody just recovering by the end, getting comfortable with the tapping. But Finland's build-up just a bit too much for Ukraine to come back from. Now back 3-3 going into Ukraine's next pick, and this match is now evened out.
Very, very nice. This match gets more and more exciting. More twists and turns, traded breakpoints. It's back to even grounds now. It's going to be a best of 5.
I mean, with how that went for Finland, that gives them no mod 2 as an option. Also a tapping heavy map, 230 BPM, a little bit more consistent. Bit more stamina heavy, but in the same lane if they want to go for it. Not like there's really too many other maps that are, you know, less contested. Let's see what Ukraine wants to go for here. I mean, DT1, I think they have a good DT1 team, but so does Finland, especially with them winning DT3. I think Hard Rock 2 is definitely an option if you maybe feel good on Raf, GPO, Dench, and on the 6.5 lineup, but very tricky 6.5, a little bit more rhythmic. I don't think you go for Hidden 2 here if you're Ukraine. I think Hard Rock 2 is... It's probably Hard Rock 2, I want to say, as a good pick here.
I got no idea, man. I'm completely just unsure. I mean, do Ukraine want to follow up with anything similar to kind of keep the momentum going and not kind of shut anything down? Or do they want to just completely swap something around, change the momentum for them in terms of the playing? You know, like, the thing is, the thing that's quite underrated that is not really considered very much with tournament play is that, you know, when you play one really sporadic map that's specific on a specific skill set, if you switch to another one that's drastically different, it's going to take a little while for the players to adjust, assuming that they don't head out the lobby and practice. But it does seem like Ukraine are going to be finishing off the trifecta of double times here. Still sticking towards that aim proficiency that they've been dealing with here. So it's going to be double time 1 for Ukraine.
Actually, a fair pick considering they did win on the Hard Rock 1. Obviously not by much, but none of these picks have been won by too much. DT1, I think this is going to be something that Ukraine knows Finland can also play. But if they're feeling good on it, if they feel like they have a good 3-man roster, I think the 3-man for Ukraine on a skill set like this, likely going to be Roman, Rafji, and Dench. I think it is a very, very strong one. A lot more comfortable, consistent, farmy type aim compared to the DT3. A little bit div spiky near the end, but they're feeling good on it. I think this is going to be a good pick, but at the same time, you look at Finland, they're going to have a roster for this. It is one of the most comfortable skill sets in the game. And considering they could play the DT3, the AR is going to be fine for them.
I legitimately have no idea who's going to win this one. No idea.
This is a map you pick just because you believe. You believe in your team, you believe in yourself.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. I mean, Ukraine do have a history in this match specifically to do pretty well on the aim specifically, but I don't know, man. This is looking tight. You've got some great players who've won really well in the double time 1 in qualifiers, but I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I can't predict this. Like, really, I can't. It really doesn't matter on the day how they're feeling, and both these teams are evened out. There's no way of really tracking how well they've done. The only players you can particularly look at is probably going to be Desu and GPO, who have probably played the most difficult aim aspects in the pool so far, both running the hard rocks on their respective free mods, and on top of that, doing quite well on the other aim maps that we've had, such as the Hard Rock 1. Wait, did Raptor should play Hard Rock 1? I don't remember. I believe he did. I need someone to give me the MP.
I assume so, considering he played the Hard Rocks in free mod.
Yeah, I assume so.
But it's going to be the same lineups on the DT1 for both teams as they had in qualies. You can see Amasthetic, Desku, and Allard on Finland, and Raf, GPO, Dench, and Taras on Ukraine. This is a nerve-wracking one. It's a skill. It's like a map. All of these players likely can FC and have FCs, but keeping those nerves, keeping that consistency, just under 3 minutes, which is on the sometimes on the long side for DTs.
Also, off topic, but I love this song. Read out Kana, people. This OP is so wholesome.
Early break from Taras, but not going to matter too much. Sometimes early breaks can be a blessing. They take away that nerves of getting an FC. That might actually make a difference.
On top of that, if there's any break that's traded later on, you're guaranteed a combo advantage.
Yeah.
So it's good. The first breaks aren't always necessarily a world ender, which is always good. It's good relief for some of these players. But first big diff spike there coming through into the next KI. No drops. Taurus remaining to be the only drop here for Ukraine. GPO and Dench have got his back as well. But there's Alid. That's the first break there for Finland. A little bit something to note here. This accuracy from Finland is really, really strong and grounding themselves a little bit. But that drop from Amasthetic is huge, especially towards the end of the KI. They're going to have to drop from somebody else here, but no, it's not going to be another drop from Ukraine towards the end of the KI. There's going to be a lot of time here for Ukraine to build that lead further and further. A lot of free combo here. There's quite a while until you go into the next KI where the difficulty starts to ramp up, and Desku, bless him, is on his lonesome. Great accuracy, but not going to be enough, especially with GPO very close to contesting him. You're going to have to really, really hope from a drop here from Ukraine. This is getting close to a three-way FC. Any drops on that build-up? No. Up to the next KI now. Who is going to be the first to drop in this? Desku still being the saving grace here for Finland.
That's GPO breaks, though, the biggest accuracy combo on the side of Ukraine. That's going to sting hard, especially because Amasthetic and Allard are matching one of the FCs on Ukraine. Desku still holding, and the accuracies from Finland are going to do a lot of favors, especially if they hold through. And
No, Desku, no! Oh, that's a tragic drop. Oh, that's so bad. You've got Allard and Amasthetic on the recoveries down. That full combo was gone. Dench and Taurus are going to be able to completely shred this now. We got a bit of a faster build-up section that might be difficult here. If there's a double miss from the full combos on Ukraine, this could be really, really valuable. Big jumps to come through. A triple miss from Ukraine. That's so huge. There is so much room now for Finland to come back. There's only a little bit of time left, though. A quarter of it to go, but it's shrinking so quickly. Can Alan and Amasthetic hold on? Can they save Finland from this loss? It's shrinking so quickly, but Alan drops. It's all up to Amasthetic, and I don't think there's going to be enough time. GPO's gone, but that single combo from Amasthetic, despite being so huge, might just not be enough. Another drop from Taurus and GPO, another drop from Allard. Desku and Amasthetic still holding. 100,000 is slowly approaching, but there might just not be enough time, or is there? Hold on a second. Any time left, any few notes left to come through, and it won't be the case. Finland, so close to glory on a crazy breakpoint, but it won't be the case. Ukraine, with a crazy, crazy early game advantage, carries them to victory by 50,000. That could have been absolutely insane.
That 3 miss on that div spike, it's extremely, like, that is easily the hardest part of the map. It's by far the longest jump section, regardless of whether you want to single tap or ulted. It's always going to be, if you're going to miss on a pattern, it's that one. And still, as you mentioned, the early combos from Ukraine, that early comfort being the difference, and those early breaks from Finland just not doing them justice, considering they held through that div spike so well. But that is Ukraine's pick after all. And going into Finland, I wonder if they just go for the No Mod 2 here after winning on the DT2. You know, get out all of the tapping maps out of the pool. Ukraine did ban Free Mod 2. Feels like the most reasonable option to go for, because I think the rest of these feel so coin flippy. Other than maybe Hidden 2, but they go for Hard Rock 2, really? Ooh. Finland picking the Hard Rock 2 and not Ukraine. The sort of rhythmic 6.5, a little bit flowy, more gimmickier than a normal 6.5. Not too bad on the aim, but I think getting good accuracy on a map like this is going to be very, very challenging.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm expecting the most here. This is also a KTG map, and if you know KTG, you know that he's got a little bit of a hit finger control on top of it. So not only do you have the precision, not only do you have the high OD, but you have that rhythmic control that you need to stay in control of. You know, it's a tough one, and it's a bit of a strange pick for Finland, considering how well they did on the T1 despite losing. But it seems like they want to really pivot the playing here. They want to pivot the play. They want to change the style. And it is going to be the Hard Rock 2 to be their choice. This is 2 minutes long, so not too long, but not too short. But those combos, especially kind of long, kind of a core of the way through, is going to be what is going to be likely to be considered very valuable here. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this is a really cool map. Also, just to mention, there was 2 matches going on at this time. On the other side, you also had Hong Kong versus France. The result of that match, Hong Kong winning 6-0. The very, very strong performance overall. Unfortunately, wasn't able to be streamed, but yeah, good play from Hong Kong.
Yeah, GG from them. I think quite a few people expected Hong Kong to do quite well. So having them be dominating that hard against a team like France, who are great on paper, is not surprising. The GG's to Hong Kong. But we still got another banger match on our hands.
We still got a banger one, and this one, I'm feeling the TV at this point. I really hope it comes. We're not too far away. We're 3 maps away.
I can't wait for this one, man. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I don't know what else to say. Seems like the final rosters are being decided here. Finland, Amasetic, Zepe, and Nev. For Ukraine, Roman, Dench, and GPO. Remember to breathe, ladies and gentlemen. Don't lose your breath. And also hydrate. If you haven't hydrated yet, please hydrate. I have a bottle next to me. Get your water bottles, get your glasses of water. Vordi, are you hydrating right now? Do you have a water bottle next to you?
I actually do, yeah. Of course.
Nice,
you gotta be watered up.
Hydration
is important.
Absolutely. Anyway, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Into Breathe. This is arguably one of the most important maps here of this match. Are Ukraine going to win this and secure themselves match point, or will Finland equalize it once again, making this a best of 3, making their final picks the last hurrahs for both of these teams? This is so exciting. Here we go.
Like every pick so far, this feels pretty contested. Finland actually having pretty good accuracy out the intro, which is a good sign for the comfort on this map. Amasetic on 99, which is no easy feat. 6.5 is already hard to act on its own, even if it's just a generic map, but this type of map, 6.5, is quite a struggle to hold that accuracy, but Finland doing well. That accuracy is going to be the brunt of the score lead right now, where all it takes is 1 miss, and that'll flip over.
Everyone is still holding on. It's just the accuracy keeping Finland in check here. Especially from Nev here, nearly approaching that 99. Very impressive.
That isn't, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's really good accuracy there. He does drop it a little bit, but still 98 is still kind of insane, honestly. This map being notoriously difficult to control, very rhythmic and very difficult. You know KTG stuff for these kind of stuff, especially with the precision and with the high OD into account as well. Nobody seems to be breaking here. A little bit of a space has come through.
Amasetic
halfway through. Is that going to cut his score by a whole 500k here? Are you going to have to hope for a drop from somebody here, or is it going to look really tough? You're going to have to hope for at least 2 to guarantee it here. What can Ukraine do? Can they suppress this, and can they secure match point? Another drop from Amasetic. The nerves are getting to him, and Zepe is down. This is disastrous territory here for Finland. Nev, last hope to something here. We've seen Ukraine pull tragic triple misses before, but is this going to be the same? I don't think so. With Nev dropping there, Ukraine are soaring ahead. Their breaths are definitely looking a lot better here. They're much better control. Look at this. GPO finally drops, but that's an insane score. This team score is already kind of wild here. We're reaching past that 2 million mark, and Dench and Broman are still holding on to their full combos. There is absolutely nothing Finland can do, and the most important map of the game is the most one-sided. Ukraine secure themselves match point.
You know, and I feel vindicated because I did say Ukraine should have picked this, and you know, it went pretty well for them.
Would you look at
Went
that?
pretty well. 900k score lead, I think by far the biggest gap. A double FC on a map like this is pretty absurd. Finland looking relatively comfortable, like they can definitely play the skill set, but 6.5 is just like that. It's so easy to find those occasional
volatile,
breaks,
yeah.
especially on a map like this. But Ukraine, like this is honestly a wild scoreline. 2 FCs and a 700k on this map is pretty
That is
good.
insanity, actually.
Yeah.
That is insanity. And that's, you can see how much the accuracy matters, right? You know, Rev GPO having a whole 50k in favor of his other teammate, just completely ahead. And that was only a 1% accuracy difference, you know? Accuracy on maps like these really do matter. But it wasn't really that led them to the win. It was the combo game. If Finland had held, if Finland had held onto their combos, accuracy would have 100% been in their favor, but not going to be the case, sadly. And Ukraine are now one map away from taking it on their next pick as well. What are they going to lean into? They got quite a few good options here.
I mean, yeah, we're left with 4 maps, not too much to go for. You have No Mod 1, which is a mix of... We haven't talked much about the No Mod 1, I think it is because it's a mix of aim and pretty brutal XL and decel streams. So it's a little bit scary, especially towards the ending. I think it's a very RNG pick. But No Mod 2, obviously you have the tapping, but considering they banned it and they lost to it, I don't think they go for it. Hidden 2 is also something that Finland plays pretty well, that low AR hidden they're pretty good at. They go for the No Mod 3, which honestly I think just by process of elimination is the best option. I think No Mod 3 or No Mod 1 was sort of the toss-up picks you wanted to go for here.
Whoa,
Ukraine's last pick. Very
It's
cool
gonna be
map.
Glacier Fall. Oh, boy.
Super spicy sliders. I think everybody knows this map at this point, but if you don't, you're gonna be keen to see it. I mean, other than just having to hit those slider ticks and slider ends for accuracy, I also do think that you have some alt patterns you can find some unfortunate breaks on, but the accuracy is going to really come down to how good of a slider player you are, and we're going to see who that is in this lobby. And yeah, they did win the Hidden 1 tech pick, which is probably the closest thing to this map, so they have that going for them.
Man. What are Finland gonna do? Can they trade it? Can they get themselves that breakpoint and open an opportunity? Not a guarantee at all, by the way. If Finland win this map, this is still really dangerous territory. Every map that's left over is very toss-up, very uncertain. I cannot guarantee much, really. I mean, Finland have to win this. They have to win, and then they have to be really careful with their next pick.
I think if Finland win this, you probably just go for No Mod 2 and go for the tapping route. But you have to start by winning this pick, and it's going to be no easy task.
The tapping maps that have been played, though, with the DT2, for example, like that one was insanely close. You can't even guarantee that one. It's a little bit different, though, granted. A little bit different. Not exactly the same. Still raw speed, but not nearly as volatile as the DT2. So yeah, decent option.
Bit more stamina heavy.
One. Yes, yeah, that too.
Here we are. Right. Here's the rosters on match point. Desku, Allard, and Zeppe fighting for their chance to keep this match going. Ukraine, Raf GPO, Roman, and Sherry Tori to try to seal it out.
Sherry Tori and Raf GPO on this are so scary. I'm very scared of this one, man. Oh, God. No Amacetic in here as well. I would have thought Amacetic would be in this, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It is going to be Desku and Zeppe, who have performed really well for Finland this time. Allard filling in as well. Solid filling player. I would have expected him to be on this. Oh boy. Here we go. Glacier Fall. Match by Scub Domino. 2.5 minutes long. CS3 at 9.5. That's not the stat that matters, though. The patterns, the sliders, the tech, the crazy, almost comical sliders in this is going to be what matters the most here. Who's going to be
cool to
most
see
stable?
a map like this in tourney, but it is, despite how comical the sliders are, they do a very good test of tech skill, slider tech skill.
Yep.
Here we go.
All right.
Aim for the ticks.
Giant sliders here, not tripped up by anybody else. Follow the ticks. Everyone looking solid. Oh, this song is vibes, bro. All right. Here we go. First little bit of a ramp up coming through. Repeat buzz sliders, not tripping up anybody from nerves. Big stream. Nope, nothing. Here we go. First little slide attack section to come through now. Only a small accuracy advantage in favor of Ukraine. But it's so incredibly volatile here. These sliders and buzz sliders get really rapid with the jumps as well. People are still following the ticks, man. Oh, big doubles.
Almond and Desku!
There's a big doubles from Ukraine. Finally, a breakaway. Easily one of the hardest sections of the map there, and that's going to shatter the combos from Finland. These combos from Ukraine still holding strong. No drops here. Accuracy as well, looking really solid considering the volatility of this map here. Accuracy massively in their favor. You're going to have to really hope from a double miss, but with that drop from Zepe, the full combos are all gone from Finland. Ukraine soaring ahead with this one now. Finally going into the final parts of the map here, the latest stages. And arguably one of the hardest parts of the map with these sudden, really rapid sliders on 1/3 jumps. A double miss from Ukraine from Roman and Sharitori. Rav GPO still holding the fort here. I don't think the recoveries from Finland are going to be good enough. It's too little too late. 400,000 and climbing is not going to be really doable. There's nothing you can do here. But despite Rav GPO still finally breaking, Ukraine are still going to take this surely now. Alad has a really valuable recovery here that could have done something had anybody dropped earlier and had anybody from Finland held on for just a little bit, but it's not going to be it. Ukraine are going to take it, and they're going to be advancing to the winner's side of the quarterfinals. Finland really, really valiantly fighting here with some great scores and some really clutch plays, but it's not going to be the case. They will be going down to the loser's bracket.
Yes, so many unbelievably close picks, but right at the end, that Hard Rock 2 and this No Mod 3 really being the difference maker, where Ukraine just really picked up their stride, showed their depth in a pool with so few picks left, and Ukraine winning the match 6-3, but extremely close. Really well done from Finland. I think they're gonna have a good shot at whoever they verse up against in losers bracket. But yeah, a banger of a match. So unbelievably close picks.
Absolutely banger. Yeah, do not let this scoreline deceive you at all. I'm glad to know that chat agree with me when I say that this was way closer than the scoreline would say. 6-3 doesn't mean anything, bro. Look at the maps and you'll know. You'll absolutely know that Finland put up an incredible fight. And I don't doubt that they're going to be very exciting to watch in the losers bracket, despite falling to such a great team in Ukraine. But that is the match. That is GG's. Ukraine are the ones to prevail. And that will be us for now. I believe there is another match coming in at 16 UTC. And that will be the final match of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, between the Philippines and Canada. It will be Vordi and I to be casting with you guys again in an hour's time. So people, go get a little snack, go get some popcorn, but don't leave anywhere. Come back for this incredible match because these rosters are exciting to say the least. I've been Shiva. I've been joined by Vordi. We'll see you guys in an hour's time.